There's a weird moment a lot of people have in their late teens. You're sitting at your desk, maybe in your room, maybe in class, and out of nowhere, you just think, I'm so tired. And I haven't even started life yet. It doesn't hit all at once. It builds slowly. You stop caring about things you used to love. You wake up exhausted even after sleeping. Every notification feels like a chore. And the only time you feel okay is when you're completely alone, doing absolutely nothing. That's burnout. And for a lot of teenagers and people in their 20s, it's not rare anymore. It's just normal. The new normal, no one signed up for being young, used to be the best years of your life. That's what people always said, right? But if you're a teenager or in your early 20s right now, you're probably wondering, when does that part start? Because instead of freedom, most people are feeling pressure. Pressure to keep up. Pressure to plan everything. Pressure to succeed. Fast. And on top of that, there's this constant low-level guilt for not doing enough. Not grinding hard enough. Not being productive. Not having a side hustle. Not being happy 24/7. Even rest feels like you're falling behind. The internet changed the rules. The internet, especially social media, changed what it means to grow up. We're the first generation that grew up comparing ourselves to millions of people at once. Not just classmates, not just friends. Everyone. Some random 19-year-old online just bought a Tesla. Some 17-year-old is making 6 figures dropshipping. Another one just got famous for a video they filmed in their bedroom. You see it every day. And even if you know it's curated, even if you know it's exaggerated, you still start asking, what am I doing wrong? And that question, over time, chips away at you. It makes every day feel like a race you already lost. Expectations keep getting higher. Most people our age were told the same thing. Work hard, go to school, and you'll be successful. But now, you can do all that and still be drowning. College tuition is higher. Rent is worse. Jobs want 5 years of experience for entry-level pay. And every adult you talk to says the same thing. Well, when I was your age. But when they were your age, it didn't cost £900 a month to rent a studio apartment and £4.50 for a coffee. So you keep going, because what else can you do? You apply. You hustle, you study. You work, you scroll. And one day you realize you haven't felt genuinely rested in months. You're always on, but never really present. You're not lazy, you're tired. A lot of people confuse burnout with laziness. Like if you're unmotivated, it must be your fault. But burnout isn't about being lazy. It's about your brain literally trying to protect you. When your body senses you're under non-stop pressure, it starts shutting down things that aren't urgent. Joy, creativity, focus. All gone because your brain is just trying to survive. That's why doing basic things like replying to a text, making a to-do list, or cleaning your room starts feeling impossible. And when people tell you to just push through it, you want to scream, because you've already been pushing for months. So what do? If this sounds familiar, if you're in this right now, you're not alone. And that's not just AL. This feeling is everywhere. Quiet, unspoken, but very real. We weren't built to live like this. Always online, always accessible, always under pressure to perform. But nobody hit pause. So we just kept going. We talked about what burnout feels like. Not a dramatic collapse, but that constant, quiet exhaustion that creeps into every part of your life. The kind that makes even small tasks feel impossible. The kind you carry in your chest every day without even realizing it. And we asked, what's actually causing this? Because burnout isn't just some random emotional state. It's not about not being tough enough. It's the result of growing up inside a machine that keeps pushing, no matter how tired you are. Let's break it down. Where the pressure comes from a young age, most people are handed this invisible weight. The pressure to figure it all out, to pick a career, to plan your future, to be impressive, to keep up, and the timeline keeps getting shorter. If you don't have everything together by 21, it feels like you're behind. And if you're not constantly doing something, building a brand, growing a side hustle, applying for jobs, maintaining friendships, improving your body, posting about all of it, it feels like you're failing. But this isn't just pressure from school or parents anymore. It's pressure from everyone and everything, all at once. And no one ever stops to ask, should we even be living this way? The internet doesn't let you breathe. One of the hardest things about burnout now is that it follows you everywhere. It's not just at school or work. It's on your phone, in your feed, in your pocket. Every time you scroll, you're reminded of where you're not. People your age making more money, living better lives, looking happier, doing more. Even when you know it's curated, edited, filtered, it still gets in your head. Because when everyone looks like they're winning, it makes your exhaustion feel like a personal failure. You're not just tired, you're ashamed of being tired. And that shame keeps you from resting, even when your body is begging for it, when everything becomes content. Another reason burnout hits so hard now is because everything we do is being turned into content. Going for a walk? Make it aesthetic. Reading a book? Share it. Cooking dinner? Film it for TikTok. It's not enough to live your life. You have to broadcast it. And even rest becomes part of the performance. We've reached a point where life isn't about being present. You start forgetting how to feel good for yourself. It's about being seen. And when every part of your day has to look good for someone else, it's a slow erosion of joy, of attention, of identity. And over time, it burns you out in ways you don't even notice until you completely shut down. The real consequences. This isn't just about being tired. Burnout leads to real problems: depression, anxiety, emotional numbness, insomnia, physical illness, social withdrawal, loss of motivation, and the worst part. When people finally crash, they usually blame themselves. They think they're lazy, unmotivated, broken. But the truth is, they've just been asked to carry way too much for way too long. You can't expect a phone to work on 1% battery forever. So why do we expect that of ourselves? You're not behind? The world is just spinning too fast. The real issue isn't that people aren't trying hard enough. It's that they're trying to survive in a system that's always demanding more. More hours, more hustle, more productivity, more output, and less time for anything that doesn't turn into money or content. But here's the thing. You're allowed to move slowly. You're allowed to take breaks. You're allowed to not have everything figured out. The pace of the world is making you feel like you're behind. Maybe it's not you. Maybe the pace is broken. So what can you actually do? There's no quick fix for burnout, but there are ways to step out of the current. You can start by logging off, even for a few hours. Not everything needs to be shared. Not everything needs to be a brand. Reclaim parts of your life that exist just for you. Conversations that don't lead to content. Moments that don't have to be documented. Time that isn't optimized. You don't have to earn rest. You're allowed to simply be. Final thought: teen burnout is real. It's not weakness. It's not laziness. It's not failure. It's the result of a generation growing up in a world that never slows down, never shuts off, and never stops demanding more. But if you're feeling it, you're not alone, and you're not broken. You're just exhausted. And you deserve more than a life that leaves you running on empty. So maybe the answer isn't to try harder. Maybe the answer is to stop running. Just for a little while. And remember what it feels like to just exist, without pressure, without judgment, and without needing to prove anything. Because being alive should be enough. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.